Welcome back to Winners and Losers, ladies and gentlemen, the show that goes through the highs and lows from around world football. I've finally been able to do it. I'm joined by Patrick Van Straten, and we're kicking off the show with a talking point about VAR in the FA Cup and Swansea and City.
Yeah, City came from 2-0 down to beat Swansea 3-2 in what my sheet says were controversial circumstances.
Oh, God, James wrote that, didn't they?
Oh, God. Which keeps their quadruple hopes alive. I don't know if that is a real hope. But anyway, it's the first time they've come from 2-0 down under Pep Guardiola. And within 30 minutes, it looked like they might be on the end of a really unexpected defeat. There was a Grimes penalty, an absolutely incredible goal from Bersant Salina. An amazing first-time finish after a brilliant passing move that started at the keeper and went all the way through the team pretty much with ease, and made up, obviously, for Salina's terrible penalty that did the rounds on social media. Anyway, the first time in 24 games that City had gone behind with the first goal of the match since they did that against Hoffenheim in December. So it is easier to run up the score when you're taking the lead constantly. But, of course, quality did show over the course of the game. Bernardo Silva got his 10th of the season in all competitions. He's the 4th City player to have double figures in both goals and assists this year, shared with Sterling, Sane and Mahrez. That record, absolutely incredible. Only Hazard and Pogba in the Premier League have done that outside of Man City.
Good God.
Isn't that insane?
Mental.
Then the controversy really started. Sterling got awarded a penalty, where it was quite clear that Cameron Carter-Vickers, the Tottenham player on loan at Swansea, clearly won the ball. And then the penalty went in off the keeper, so like a kind of double stroke of luck. And then just to make it even worse, Aguero scored an offside goal to give him a win in normal time. So this did really feel like the little team getting shafted. But at the same time, Man City, I think, were comfortably dominant, and you'd have expected them to win this game.
Yeah, if they scored normal goals, it would have been fine, but it was the way they scored them. It's kind of annoying because VAR has been introduced into the FA Cup this season, but it wasn't at this stadium because the stadium doesn't have it. We're pretty sure it's only at Premier League
I don't think
grounds.
that's true. I think they said that I think they said the stadium could have it, but the FA said no because they said we should stay consistent in that we're only having VAR at the Premier League grounds.
That's just stupid because literally the tackle is fantastic. It's a great tackle, and the guy's offside. Aguero's offside. But also, considering it is the quarterfinals, it's a bit of a joke, especially when United, which was the game straight after, used VAR correctly to rescind a red card and award a yellow card.
Yeah, and it's also not like it's a championship club, Swansea. Like it's not
One
like
that
it's
just
like
got relegated
It's not
from the
like it's
Premier League.
non-league. Like it's not that hard to set up. But whatever.
I mean, that being said, Guardiola did come out after the game and apologised for the offside goal and said that it was for Potter, it was an honourable defeat, and didn't complain as well about the goal. We've also got some clips of the interviews, so check these out.
I don't want anything to take away from the quality of our performance. I thought we showed great courage, great quality, and effort. And, we meet a top team that over the course of the game probably deserve to go through, and we congratulate them for going through. Wish them the best in the next round. But from our perspective, our players I thought were incredible, showed such courage and such, again, quality. That I'm just really proud of them.
The fixtures you have in April, that's why we need everybody. The players, they play good and incredible, they have to sustain that level. The players who need to increase, they have to improve. Because we need it. Everybody's going to play, and especially John, Kevin, Benja, all the players come back because we need everybody.
Anyway, City did dominate the match with 69% possession, taking 22 shots and putting 9 on target. Swansea's 5 and 2 on target. The question, though, that I've got for you guys is, can Manchester City win the quadruple? Vote in the poll above my head and let us know.
Now, we don't have any recommendations today because we forgot to put a tweet out over the weekend. So we've picked the sides for you. We have to look at Liverpool, though, who managed to keep pace in the title race with a 2-1 victory over Fulham.
Yes, they survived a scare against Fulham, go top of the table, 2 points ahead of City, who have a game in hand. Now, a rare mix-up between Virgil van Dijk and Alisson saw Ryan Babel score against his old side to make it 1-1. Though the day was saved by James Milner, who netted late to get 3 points for Liverpool. Now, Milner extends his Premier League record of never losing in a game which he has scored in, and it now stands at 51 games, winning 40 and drawing 11. Not too bad. And it was a test of the Reds' focus. They've now extended their unbeaten Premier League run to 10 matches, winning 6 and drawing 4. And Mane scored his 17th Premier League goal of the season, the most of any Senegalese player in the history of the competition. It was previously Demba Ba who scored 16 back in 2011-12. He has also netted 9 Premier League goals in 2019, the joint most with Sergio Aguero. Pato, though, how are things looking for Fulham?
Well, Fulham have kind of got a reliable scorer on their hands as well in Ryan Babel. Obviously managed to find the net again, and actually he's been a pretty decent signing in terms of output. But in this game, Fulham only had 2 shots on target, and that was never really going to be enough unless you're Burnley. They've lost 25 of their last 26 Premier League matches against the Big Six. 1-0, drawn 1, lost 25, and they've lost all 11 this season. So this is the problem with Fulham. Even when they manage to get a goal, you know, like they managed to pull Arsenal back level when Arsenal went ahead early in the season. They had a couple of massive chances against Man United to go ahead. But even when they do manage to score, they're just so permeable at the back that it's just impossible for them to keep anybody out. I mean, the defence is still a nightmare. They're 12 points from safety with 7 games to go. And unless they pull off, you know, a kind of Bobby Martinez late season resurgence, they're deservedly going to go down. I mean, they're going to have one of the best squads in the Championship, and you back them to come back up. But at the same time, they just, I don't know, they seem like they've been unbelievably naive this season. 7 losses on the bounce. Scott Parker has become the first manager to lose his first 3 games since Roy Hodgson in 2008. And of course, their next visitors are Manchester City.
You never know.
I don't know. I feel like Fulham are going to end the season with like a goal difference, like minus 3 figures. Like I don't know what's wrong with them. So I don't know. I think this is going to go down as one of the great mysteries, like how this Fulham side can pull something together. But Liverpool continue to march on, keep pace with City. Who do you think is going to actually end up winning the league? Let us know in the comments below. Our first losers had to be Chelsea. Yet another bad result for the Blues, Zach? A bad result. Gonna miss top 4.
Oh my God.
Gonna have a transfer ban. Gonna sack the manager. Gonna lose Eden Hazard.
Gonna go and, you know, not play our youth. It's fantastic.
Be a good
Anyway,
year.
Chelsea failed to make ground on the top 4 with a 2-0 defeat to Everton. Sarri's side dominated the first half but failed to capitalise. And I will actually say, I personally thought it was one of our better halves this season. We were really good in the first half, and I don't know how we didn't score. Higuain had a couple of chances, which I'm actually shocked he didn't put away, especially one where Jorginho put the ball over the top.
Because he's old.
Yeah.
I'll come on to that in a bit. Whatever.
But Hazard was the only player who got closest when he hit the post. The home side, though, came out much stronger in the second half and took the lead in the 49th minute through Richarlison, who now has 12 goals in the Premier League this term. And only 3 players have netted more in the competition in their debut season at Everton, with Yakubu, Lukaku and Kanchelskis.
Yeah, that's correct. Well done.
Just about.
Good job.
Alonso then brought down the Brazilian for a stonewall penalty, which Sigurdsson saw saved by Kepa before tapping in the rebound. The Icelandic midfielder is the second player to have failed to score 3 penalties in the Premier League this season, along with Paul Pogba.
Jesus.
Now, Everton moved up to 11th in the table with 40 points, while Chelsea remained 3 points off of 4th placed Arsenal. How great.
And their goal difference has dropped down a bit now as well. Like it's on what, 17 now, whereas I think Arsenal and Spurs are like comfortably in the mid-20s.
We've still got to play some big teams.
United away, Liverpool away. I think that's it.
Still 2 with
Wolves
only
as
7.
well. I think you got.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, we don't have to play Wolves.
Okay.
But that's 2 out of 7, which is not good. Not good reading.
It's not tremendous. Like you pretty much needed to win this game, but now I feel like maybe now you just say the Europa League is what we do.
Yes.
Like one of Arsenal and Napoli's going out. You know, I mean, but the only issue with it is that your away form is absolutely shocking. Like, and in Europe you haven't really been tested.
Yeah.
You know, you've had like was it Malmo in the last round?
Malmo, then Dynamo Kiev or something like that.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, they've lost 4 away games already in 2019. Only Fulham have lost more with 6.
God.
Which is not tremendous. And actually, going into this game, Everton hadn't been in great form at Goodison. Like I always think of Goodison as a tough place to go, but they'd lost 4 of their last 6 games at Goodison Park before this match, and Chelsea kind of played the way that you'd expect them to play, 67% possession. But once again, this has been the problem all season and was never a problem at Napoli. they get a lot of shots, but they don't tend to get a lot of good shots. So they had 5 shots on target, which is actually pretty decent. Like the average in the Premier League is about 4 per game. But Everton had 8.
Mate, Ross Barkley had about 4 shots from about 30 yards out.
Yeah.
And he was getting absolutely rinsed by the Everton fans.
It's just ridiculous. And like it is so predictable, this thing of like, well, Eden Hazard will do something. He had 2 key passes, 3 dribbles, 3 shots in this game, but he's never scored it at Goodison in 7 Premier League appearances. And you kind of think, if your only plan is to give it to Hazard, like, yes, he's brilliant. And yes, 8 times out of 10, he's going to do something magical. But the other 2 times, you're absolutely... I mean, Higuain, the narrative about Higuain was that he was like a really good signing because he immediately started scoring. But he's got 3 in 10 for Chelsea. Like, so it's not like he's arrived and he's just like pumping them in. Like, he got a couple of goals and now he's gone on a kind of...
2 of them were against Fulham, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
And now he's gone on a dry spell and you kind of think, well, why is this better? Like, in a way, it would be not that bad next season if you had to give Abraham or had to give Batshuayi a go. But I think you'll sell Batshuayi and probably be left with Higuain and Abraham next season. And I'm just not really sure about it. Like, you look at somebody like Richarlison for Everton, and I was a big fan of his move to Everton in the summer. I actually really disagreed with the people saying that it was an expensive move, given his potential from the season before. Like, he got the first, he won the second, and he made 4 tackles in this game. And of course, he's 21?
Jesus Christ.
Right, he could be a real star. He's been linked with AC Milan for like 70 mil already. So, I mean, you could turn a profit on him. Theo Walcott, on the other hand, the other end of the kind of age spectrum, he could have made it 3-0 within like 30 seconds or a minute or 2 of coming on, which would have been kind of nice because he turned 30 over the weekend. He'd have made it 3-0, so we might have seen the 3-0 Walcott peep show headline, I guess. Anyway, next up for Everton, a trip to West Ham, which fortunately at the moment looks like a walk in the park. While Chelsea go away to Cardiff, which is a real... Chelsea's away record versus Cardiff's home record. Ooh, how can both sides lose?
Watch us win that 4-0 and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, it's all great again. And
no, they won't. Again. You'll win it 4-0 and people will still be like, Sarri should be sacked. What do you think of the rumours that Sarri's going to be sacked over the international break?
Sad.
Yeah?
It's all sad. I mean, again,
good
luck getting someone in. Oh, God.
He surely won't leave with Derby potentially going up. Derby to finish above Chelsea next season.
That's what I like to hear.
Anyway, let us know what you think is going to happen with Chelsea. Our second and final winners of the week are Wolves. I called them last week the biggest club in Birmingham. And you know what? I stand by that. I don't care how big Villa's stadium is. Wolves are competing for Europa League football.
And what are Villa doing?
They're better than Chelsea.
Let's calm
Not
down.
Villa, Wolves.
Let's calm
Villa-ish.
down. Anyway, United lost 2-1 to Wolves in the FA Cup quarter-final. Arguably a shock, arguably not a shock. Before this game, United had won 3 of their last 4 games at the Molineux. Wolves dominated a lacklustre United side though, and although the Red Devils had the majority of possession with 62%, the home side managed 7 shots on target, while Ollie's men just managed 2. And one of them came in the 90 plus something minute. Pathetic. Jimenez opened the scoring with his 3rd goal in 5 appearances in the cup competition. This brings his tally to 15 goals, at least 8 more than any other Wolves player. And Jota then made it 2-0 with a great solo run, which made him turn Luke Shaw into Bambi on ice before slotting it past Romero, who was actually United's best player on the day. Rashford scored late in the stoppage time, but it was merely a consolation goal, and Wolves reached their 15th FA Cup semi-final. United were arguably kind of lucky to have 11 men on the pitch. I mean, Lindelof was originally sent off, and then VAR looked at the tackle and gave it as a yellow card, which I do agree with as well.
Lucky for United, because Lindelof's been important for them recently.
Arguably their best player this season, one of their best player this season. But yeah, I mean, it was a yellow card. Pate, carry on.
Well, I guess this is the first time that Solskjaer has had to face some adversity. Like, look, I think Wolves is just a really hard place to go. They've won 6 of their last 7 home games across all competitions, as many as in their previous 16. So they're really picking up form towards the end of the season, which is just as well, because I think they've got quite a few of the Champions League contenders. I think they possibly might have United again in the league. They've definitely got Arsenal, and I think they might have Spurs all at home. So
I mean, again, tough fixtures as well, though, for the Champions League sides.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would not want to go away to Wolves at the moment. And, I mean, Nuno has somehow he's got them playing really good defensive football, but he's just getting the maximum possible out of these attackers. Like, you'd have thought, normally if you keep a lot of guys back, then that means not that much support for your forwards, and it's extremely difficult for them to score a lot of goals. Like we saw that with like Aitor Karanka's Middlesbrough. But actually, like, the forwards have produced so much this season. It's because they're basically Champions League level forwards. You know, like Jota is a quality player. Jimenez as well has been a real danger this season, like a real kind of classic big man player who's actually really good at hold up as well. And they've won 3 consecutive FA Cup games for the first time since 2003 now. So pretty exciting stuff. I mean, Jimenez had 4 shots, 2 key passes, and completed 3 dribbles in this game. You could argue that he's one of the signings of the season. 22 goal involvements in 35 appearances.
I mean, it's not bad.
For a club the size of Wolves.
It's not bad
a
at
club
all.
coming up to the Premier League. That's absolutely incredible. They're 7th, and they pretty much deserve to be at least 7th, I would say. They've got the FA Cup semi to look forward to. That's their first since 97-98. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will have to do some work on his team over the international break. I wonder if this changes the calculus for the Champions League places a bit, because you think, oh, okay, well maybe United, maybe the luck is just starting to run out, or the buoyancy is starting to run out. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I don't know who's going to make top 4. I don't want to say Arsenal because I don't want to jinx it.
Chelsea.
No, relegation.
Oh, okay.
Second and final losers of the week are Huddersfield. Might as well be a permanent feature at this point.
Yes, after Saturday's game against West Ham, Huddersfield are all but relegated, losing 4-3 to the Hammers. Originally, Huddersfield were 3-1 up, and this was just the 8th time they had scored more than just 1 goal in a Premier League game.
I was actually watching this with a friend. Well, I wasn't watching the game. I was with a friend who's a West Ham fan, and he has, like, you know, like the little app that just updates it, and it like does a little ping every time there was a goal. It was 3-1, and he was showing it to me, and I was like, "You're a idiot. Look how rubbish your club is." And then he was like, I was going to put it on, but I won't now. And then, like, you know, we were just like knocking about. And then kind of half an hour later, he was like, it's 4-3. I missed this game. I can't. And I was like, you should check that was the result first.
I mean, yeah.
Because West Ham are not great.
Not great. Anyway, Huddersfield only managed 35% possession and took 15 shots to West Ham's 16, with both teams putting 5 on target.
That's pretty good. 50,
it's not too
that's
bad.
probably the most shots they've had in a game this season, Huddersfield.
I mean, and they scored 3 goals.
15 shots is a decent number of shots. 5 on target is a decent number of shots on target. For Huddersfield's attack is like...
Terrible.
Is like, what, Mounier when he's fit? That's it.
If that, and then
and
some
Moy.
bloke from the academy.
Corners is what it is.
I mean, listen to this stat. Huddersfield scored as many goals against West Ham, which was 3, obviously, as they had in their previous 11 Premier League games combined.
I mean, that is shocking.
How are they not already automatically relegated? It's ridiculous. This loss, though, means Huddersfield are bottom of the league on 14 points. And even if the club managed to double their points tally over the remaining 7 games, they would still be in the relegation zone.
Oh my God. Yeah,
They're gone.
they actually need to like triple their points, don't they? To survive, really.
So they need to win every single one of their 7 games.
No, but they could win all their remaining 7 games, and they'd still be on 35 points, which is 100% relegation standard.
It's not looking good for them, mate. Enjoy the championship.
I mean, to be fair with Huddersfield, you're just seeing a championship level squad.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like, David Wagner leaving, I'm not surprised, because he must have been like, it is actually soul destroying to like work on training all week, try and motivate the players, and just know that you just simply do not have the quality to stay up. And that's not, I'm not particularly trying to diss Huddersfield. I actually thought that David Wagner did like some quite interesting stuff, especially last season. Yeah. But that squad has just like, it's not really got much going on in it, to be honest. And I mean, West Ham have come from 2 goals down to win on 2 other occasions in the Premier League, against Bradford in 2000 and Everton in 2016. So Huddersfield making history in one sense, I guess. And again, like, this is what I mean, like, just a story of quality on the pitch. Like, Felipe Anderson, 2 shots on the day, took the second most touches with 90, 4 key passes, including an assist, obviously, 2 dribbles, 4 tackles and interceptions.
Jeez. What does a man not do?
When you have that sort of player, though, you just always have a chance. Like, despite the deficiencies elsewhere in the squad, he keeps them competitive. And I mean, actually, Javier Hernandez was very good as well, though it does make life easier when you're constantly left unmarked in the box. Mark Noble scored the first goal on the day. Mark Noble now is one of the top. He's one of the top 3 scorers in West Ham's Premier League history. Only 3 West Ham players have over 40 goals for the club in the Premier League. Paolo Di Canio, 47. That's the most goals for a West Ham player in the Premier League. 47.
People just come in and out of that club like left, right, and centre. It's
But
ridiculous.
they've been in the Premier League, I swear, for like the majority of the time the Premier League's existed. Carlton Cole, 41, and now Mark Noble on 40.
Good God.
But it's because he's taken every penalty they've had
Yeah.
for about 20 years. I swear. I mean, Hernandez came off the bench and got 2 headed goals, and the fact that West Ham can bring Hernandez off the bench really does say all about what it takes to survive in this league. He's the first West Ham player to score 2 off the bench since Antonio against Watford in September 2016, which I imagine both of those were headed as well, let's be real. West Ham are now 9th.
They are. It's not too bad, especially at the beginning of the season when things weren't looking all too dandy.
I think it's, well, I've always defended Pellegrini. I really like Pellegrini. I think he's an intelligent manager who plays attractive football. And I think Rice is only going to improve. And if they got maybe a better defensive midfield option than Obiang, and just really fleshed out that midfield a little bit more, you've got a pretty solid squad there. Also, Masuaku, like, look, I love Masuaku, but if you're not going to play 3 at the back, he is a liability. So sell him and get in a guy who can play wing back or full back. Yeah, he can't play full back. He's rubbish. They're basically like pound shop Arsenal. So like Kolasinac has been amazing this season, but you don't want to play him in a back 4. Like it's just no fun for anyone. But anyway, only 6 points split 7th and 12th in the league. So they could drop down a bit, but they could also go up a little bit more as well. So I'm intrigued to see where they end up. And overall, I think a good season for Pellegrini.
So that's the end of winners and losers for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check us out on the socials. You can see what we get up to on the weekend. Patrick Van Straaten had a very interesting weekend. Go over there and find out. Pato, though, what can they go and do now?
Head over to Eurofootball Daily and check out the Euro Roundup, where we look at the best results, best games, best performances from around Europe. Obviously, this weekend, Genoa beat Juventus 2-0, so we discussed that. And I imagine we might have a little chat about Leo Messi as well.
Yeah, he's all right. Bye.
Bye.